Hi, my Tubies, my Teletubbies, different camera. While I wait for this part one to upload, I am doing part two. Oh, I need an eye left. Oh, anyway, yeah, I am doing part two here on my tablet. So, in terms of, like I said, addiction and being homeless, are parents to blame? You notice how I took one of my pills and I didn't take two, so I don't seem to be twisting up. My mouth is not as dry, but I always do a disclaimer. If I sound weird or whatever, it's not alcohol. It's well, actually, I have my cranberry juice that I usually keep in my cup, but that's whatever. Um, yeah. It's the steroid crap that they gave me. It makes my mouth twist up, and I got to do this a certain way. My son said, "Mom, you look like you're catching a stroke." I said, "Well, my son was right there in the hospital with me when they was giving me these medications. He was right there in the emergency room with me, so he knows what's up." Anyway, yeah, let's fix the old hair here, and let's stay beautiful. We've got to stay beautiful up to my standards. That's my standards. I don't give a damn what the media has to say and all this, whatever standards of beauty. Child kiss, really. Anyway, hold on while I get the other people here with me to join me, so you can see, draw your own conclusions. That's what I have to say in terms of that. Draw your own conclusions. The reason why I feel like I have this urge to cough and my mouth feels so dry. You ever had your mouth feel so dry and you gotta struggle? It's called cotton mouth. But as you see, I'm fighting through it and I seem very clear. Clear? Anyway, hang with me, Tubies. Okay, my Tubies, we have Sway here. This is called Prostitute Interview Sway. And this is from Soft White Underbelly. I hope you can see this like you can on my laptop.
From originally?
Redondo Beach, California.
Yeah. And tell me about how you grew up. You had mom and dad?
Yeah. I was adopted.
Oh, you were?
My biological mom had me when she was 16. Her parents were in a church choir with my adoptive mother's sister. So that's how the connection happened. And a few months later, they brought me home.
Did you ever meet do you remember your biological mom?
Actually, my biological mom, every single year growing up on my birthday, she sent me a letter, which was pretty cool. And my dad gave me a birthday present for my first birthday that my mom still has. It's Super Grover from Sesame Street with like the cape and everything. It was my favorite. And I met them officially when I was 16. I was at a boarding school therapeutic special situation school in Utah. We had a therapy visit, so we flew out to California, me and my therapist, and had lunch at Islands with me, my adoptive mom, my birth mom, and my birth dad. And that was a trip.
So how was your childhood with
my adoptive parents?
Yeah.
Honestly, pretty smooth sailing. Other than me and my own chaos, they did the best they could, and they did pretty damn good.
So your chaos.
Did we hear that? She came from parents who did pretty damn good. Even though she had adoptive parents, well, she was fortunate, like someone else I know. She was adopted, and then she met her real parents. They all treated her famously. Her adoptive parents, her regular parents explained to her why they gave her up for adoption, because after the situation that they were in at the time, it was not conducive to being the best parent that they could be. At the same time, notice how she said they did great.
About that?
I saw psych doctors since I was 6 or 7.
You what?
Psych doctor, like a doo-doo-doo. Since I was 6 or 7, my mom had me seeing one. They put me on Ritalin when I was 6 or 7. And then they also tried Concerta, Adderall, Strattera, a whole bunch of fun stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I know someone who have their child on Adderall and Ritalin and all of this nonsense, whatever. Anyway, but if that person would have just listen to Jehovah and Jesus Christ by listening to your parents, you know what I'm saying? If that person would have just listened to their parents, then her kids wouldn't be ending up on Ritalin and Adderall. Adderall is equivalent to crystal meth. Ritalin, I mean, these are whatever. Now, there are some people who really, really need that. At the same time, there's ways around a lot of that stuff, But the person I'm talking about, she know who she is. Got your kids all on Adderall. You got your kids on antidepressants. You got your kids sitting up here on Ritalin and all of this stuff. Half the times, those kids don't really need to be on all of that crap. Especially when they have an uncle who's into mental health field. A mother who raised nothing but winners. A mother who's a motivational speaker. A mother who is inspirational. A mother who, when everybody's on her watch, they turn out successful. Kids didn't have to end up like that. She know who she is. But sitting around here thinking she know more than Jehovah, Jesus, and her parents, which I was her mom and her dad. Oops, I gave it away. Kids all on Ritalin and Adderall. Man, please, my kids was never on no crazy nonsense like that when they was on my watch. You got a whole family. You got a family member who's a professional who know how to deal with your children and speak to your children to... Man, I don't even want to go there because it's just too sad. But like you heard from the prostitute interview, her name is Sway, and this is on Soft White Underbelly. You can hear her whole full story because I don't want to make this too long because this tablet I have, it only goes up to like 40, 45 minutes. Anyway, on to the next one. Okay, now we're going to be moving on to Crack Addict interview Jesse, and this is with Soft White Underbelly.
All right, Jesse.
Hi.
Jesse, where'd you grow up? Where are you from originally?
Originally from Maryland.
Maryland.
Yep.
And tell me about your childhood. You had both your parents when you were young?
What about my parents?
Tell me about your family. You had both your parents when you were young?
I had a very relatively normal upbringing in the suburbs of Maryland. My father was a contractor, and I worked for him. I have two older brothers, and then a younger sister came along 10 years later. 4 kids. Grandparents in the city, grandparents in the country. We lived in the suburbs.
How would you describe your childhood?
What?
How would you describe your childhood?
It was pretty idyllic, We were very lucky. My father worked very hard. My mother was a good housewife.
Can we talk Joan Rivers? My father worked really hard, 2-parent household, and yet he's a heroin addict, a crack addict. He had both parents in the household. Neither one of the parents had alcohol or drug issues. And we're still trying to sit up here and fault the parents just because your life didn't turn out the way you hoped it to be. Your life would have turned out the way you wanted it to be if you would have did what the Bible said, and that's listen. Because even though parents may not have been, like I said in my first part, the best of examples, but they gave you good advice. He didn't come from a household where there was alcoholics, drug addicts, abuse, or what have you, and take a look at him.
You went through high school?
I went to high school. I graduated Delaney High School in Maryland.
You go further? College?
I went to college. I waited a couple of years, and then I went as an older returning student. I went to Towson State University. It took me 7 years to get my bachelor's degree.
Right.
I got academically dismissed once, and I got bad crack cocaine is. And I said, "Oh, that." And I'm college educated now. So I learned that the media had overblown the effects of marijuana, had overblown the LSD was blown out of proportion. I figured, oh well, this is just the same thing. So one day, I picked up this young lady and brought her to my apartment. It's pretty, very attractive black girl, and she said, I want to get some crack cocaine. I said, all right. And she went and got it and came back. And that was the beginning of the end.
Yep. He's still, this is what, August 7th or August 6th, and he's still caught out there on that crack. Yep. Mm-hmm. Still stuck on stupid, if you want my view. It's sad. It's real sad. Okay, now you can check out his full story. It's called Crack Addict Interview Jesse. And that's from Soft White Underbelly. Came from a good background. He said his childhood was idealistic. Totally beautiful. 2-parent household. Okay, now we're going to be interviewing Kensington Horror Stories, Jesse.
That's great to hear. How old are you, Jesse?
39 is Wednesday.
Okay, happy belated birthday, love. Can we start off by you telling us a little bit about your childhood growing up?
I was born down here. I was raised in South Philly. I had a normal childhood, 13 years of Catholic school. I'm actually a certified medical builder. Normal childhood. I'm an only child.
Yeah. Do you grow up with your mother and father?
Yeah, my parents are still married.
Oh, okay, that's awesome.
2-parent household. Okay, how do your kids end up like this? A great childhood. She ended up in a normal household, a regular household, no abuse. Let's listen in.
Do you have any favorite childhood memories you can think of?
No, off the top of my head.
No, if you have. So tell us what led you down this road.
The first time I was raped, I was 16. And I just kept running.
So she ended up getting raped at the age of 16. It had nothing to do with what her parents did to her. I only took one of those pills. I might have to take another one. And then I start to sound slurred and twisting my lips where my mouth is so dry. Actually, my mouth is very dry now, but you guys wouldn't notice it, right? Because I'm doing very well in covering it up. But anyway, okay, so you could hear the full story of Kensington Horror Stories, Jesse. And that is with AML Films. Listen to these people's stories. Everything is not about a bad parent, and mostly the mother is a bitch. The mother is a narcissist. The mother is an MFer. Oh, she's totally toxic. Honey. Because you had a lot of these adult children, complete, I'm looking at the other, whatever, who are just trying not to be accountable for the choices that they made these choices. Instead of spending their money and their time in therapy, fixing themselves. No, I could do the blame game and blame my parents or whatever. But this goes to show, and I have all of these different films from these people showing you it's not always bad parenting. Everyone keeps telling us that you got to have 2 parents in the household in order for your children to be successful, in order for your children to grow up well adjusted. Really? Really?
families, we out there. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. But today we got a very special guest that's joining the AML family. I would like for him to introduce himself, please.
Hi, my name is Wesley. 35.
Wesley. Okay, Wesley. Nice to meet you.
Tomorrow, actually.
So what's your nickname?
My nickname, they call me Twitch.
Twitch?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that what you like for us to call you?
Nah, just call me West. West is fine.
Okay, all right, Wes. How old are you, brother?
You're 35 tomorrow.
Oh, wow. Tomorrow's going to be his birthday, so you know that's what's up. Drop all the happy birthday in the comments for Wes, show him some love. Okay, Wes, where are you originally from?
I was born in Miami, and I grew up in Jersey, so I'm a Jersey boy, Jersey Shore.
Yo, shout out Jersey. We out there. He out here representing. That's what's up. Okay, Wes, can you please start off by telling us a little bit about your childhood growing up?
Let's see. My childhood was pretty good. Both parents worked, so it was me and my sister coming home from school, doing our chores, hanging out and stuff. Like I said, do whatever we want. Basically, good child, good parents. Didn't have to worry about getting beat. Got grounded, that kind of stuff. Never disciplined the other way. Basically had what we needed and stuff. But as a kid, I had depression issues that I didn't know about and I never talked about. So around 14, I started to self-medicate.
When you say you had depression.
So when he suffered from this self-medication or what have you, it wasn't that he had parents who beat him. He had parents who grounded him, snatched privileges, just a regular parent. This is what I worry about with my grandson, because my grandson suffers from depression. And he might start to self-medicate somewhere down the road. And I'm dying to see what my daughter, how she's going to handle that one. Yeah. When she has a brother who is a social worker who can handle all of that. But that's what I worry about when it comes to my grandson and even my granddaughter, especially they're being a part and forced into this Jehovah's Witness cult. Whatever. Anyway, long story with that. But you see how he said he came from an amazing household. He didn't have no problems with his parents. The parents were not abusive. They were just regular, average Joe parents who are pretty much good parents. And again, I'm just trying to help parents who constantly keep beating themselves up. They keep beating themselves up saying it must have been something that I did wrong. It must have been me. The reason why my kids went wayward because I was this drug addict parent or I was this alcoholic parent or something was so wrong with me as a parent. No, sweetheart, because you have the best of parents and their kids still go wayward. You could finish watching this complete video. It's called Wes, W-E-S, and Depression. And that's on AML Films. It ain't always about the parent, honey. So parents, stop beating yourself up so much. And when you got these adult kids talking about you as a narcissist, honey, I think we're seeing evidence that we have a lot of kids out here who are narcissistic, sociopathic, no empathy. They don't care about how they hurt their parents. Talking about, I love them. Love is an action word, sweetheart. When you love someone, that's why when I did my experimental stuff, I was able to kick it because love. When you love someone, honey, you let all that nonsense go. Especially when you know it's going against Jehovah God, Jesus Christ. I think we all got an idea of they believe in a higher power, whatever they do. And they weren't taught that love, the love that I have for Christ, my mother and my children. Honey, I couldn't stick hanging out with no damn drugs. Alcohol I hung with because Jesus Christ said when you need to make your heart rejoice, because Jesus Christ even knew there's going to be times, honey, when life is going to be challenging and very trying. And Jesus Christ recommended. Jesus Christ himself said alcohol, well, not alcohol, because not that liquor. He said wine. Red wine is the way to go. 2-3 glasses of wine in a week. I don't think that's going to hurt anyone unless you're an alcoholic. If you're an alcoholic, stay away from alcohol. But if you're a person who's a problem drinker, join Moderation Management. They'll teach you everything about it, honey. Because everybody who has issues with alcohol is not an alcoholic. Where's Royalty? Come here, Pa. But anyway, he's out. Whatever. But anyway, next to the next client, not client, but the next experience. I'm just so anxious to show. Parents need to stop beating themselves up so much. It's up to these kids whether they choose to listen or they choose not to. Most parents that I know, that it's been my experience, but everyone's experience is different, I get it. But most parents that I know, if they're not the best of example, because they're not 100%, and sometimes the parent dropped the ball, but they damn right give good advice. They usually always give good advice. I remember talking to someone about the gay life, telling him what the gay life is about. Leave that alone. Ain't no love up in that. That's all about sex, busting nuts, and nothing love. Did they listen? No. So when they went out there, and then they got all whatever the hell hurt up or whatever their experiences with their journey, as they say, journey. But I already told you what's up with that. Did they choose to listen? Of course not. So what did they have to get? Knocks. They had to get their lumps and their knocks. And guess what they do? Well, because my parent was so this and my parent was, that's why I was reaching out. And that's the reason why you messed up, because you chose to think that you knew more than Jehovah, more than Jesus Christ, and more than your parent, more than your mother and your father. You thought you knew more than them. You knew more than everybody. So then, because your life didn't turn out the way you wanted it to, or because you went out there and got dogged a little bit, now you ready to play the blame game. You can't play no blame game. Blame yourself for being hard-headed. Don't listen. Blame yourself. It's called, what is that? I'm sorry. Yeah, it's called taking accountability and responsibility for the choices that who made? Yeah, you made. You made those choices. Okay, now this is from Kensington's Story of Kathleen. Someone else who probably chose not to listen to their parents. I remember talking to my daughter about the dudes that she was messing with. And I kept telling the girl, leave them alone, honey. They're not good for you. Any man who's not willing to go to the Christian meeting and any man who's not willing to study the Bible, because she noticed that any man that I dated, they was always going to the Christian meeting. They were always having Bible studies. Did she follow my example? No. And then when she ends up with these duds who treated her badly because she chose not to be obedient to her parents, not to listen to Jehovah. She didn't listen to Jehovah, Jesus Christ. Me, I was her mother and her father. She ended up with 2 different baby daddies. And God knows I could tell you more stories going down the way. Whatever. I know she better not try to get real on my time talking about why would you say all of this? The same reason why you sit up here and everything I tell you in confidentiality, you go and sit up here and tell this dude, Mr. Dude living at home. I already asked you not to do that. She's so busy trying to discredit me and tear me down, but that's a whole different story. She's a Jehovah's Witness, and I think that we all have done our research to some extent about Jehovah's Witnesses. They're all about oh, child, please do your own research. Okay, here we go with because I told her all these dudes that she was dealing with, not good. Leave them alone. Listen to your mom. They're not willing to go to the Christian meeting. Dead them. They're not willing to have Bible studies. Dead them. You can't even talk to them about spiritual things, or they're not trying to build you up spiritually. Cut them off. Did she listen? No, never that. 2 different baby daddies, honey.
How old are you?
40.
40 years old. Can you tell us a little bit about your childhood?
I had a great childhood. 2-parent household, 3 sisters. We were middle class, but we had everything we wanted. My parents, they worked their asses off, bills were behind, but we didn't want for nothing. I had a great childhood.
What are some of your favorite childhood memories?
I guess just hanging out with my friends, like going to the woods, going to keg parties.
I'm just making a briefing here. I had a great childhood. My parents worked hard. We didn't want for nothing. 2-parent household. How did she end up here on Kensington Street using heroin and crack? Come on. Don't stop now. Keep blaming the parents for everything. Don't stop now. Let's keep it real. I'm so sick of people blaming. And it's not even the parents they blame. It's always the mother. The mother was toxic. The mother was no good. The mother was this. The mother was that. I have this question, and I have to pose it. Why do mothers even bother staying on the job raising these kids when these kids grow up to be adult children? They don't appreciate any of the things that their mothers have done. You can tell children who appreciate their parents because they visit their parents consistently. They spend time. They ask their parents what's your love language or whatever it is. That's what they cater to. These kids these days, all I hear when you go on YouTube, a great deal of the time, my mother was a narcissist. My mother this. My mother. Never talking about how the fathers. Always letting the fathers off the hook. Even my daughter did that mess to me. I stayed on the job. He left talking about I'm not going to give up my life for these kids because God knows they're not going to give up their life for me. And guess what? He was proven right. And I was the idiot. Well, except for my son. My son, he proved him wrong. My daughter, she was just like him. Selfish. Don't care about family. You know, you could just walk off from your own flesh and blood. You know, blood is thicker than water, sweetheart. But she has his genes, so she's just like him. At the same time, you see how he was wrong, though? Because my son is not going to give up his life. I don't think any healthy-minded parent wants their child to give up their life. That's not a healthy parent. I think every parent wants their child to be healthy. They want their children to grow up to be independent. They want them to know how to live without me. They want their kids to be mentally healthy. I think that you want your children to be spiritually strong, because if you living out here in this crazy world, I'm going to make a video and I'm going to show you. I'm going to make another video. I got to do that tonight too. You better raise spiritually strong children. Every parent who is mentally and emotionally healthy wants their child to be happy. That's what life is all about, trying to be happy. At the same time, in the process of your child being happy, they shouldn't have to throw their parents away in the garbage and treat your parents like they don't mean anything. And that's what my daughter have done. Her father knew what was up. He was like, I'm not giving up my life for these kids. Trust me when I tell you, Sheila, they're not going to give up their life for you, honey. Believe that. And in her case, he was right. But he was mistaken. He messed up when it came to his son. He messed up on that one. Women usually care about the man anyway. You know, the moment the woman get a man, the mother, she's usually thrown on the back burner. Whatever. Anyway, hold on. Okay, so here we are. Can you please introduce yourself, sir?
My name is Gil.
Nice to meet you, Gil. How you doing today?
I'm hanging in there, but.
And how old are you, Gil?
I'll be 62, the 20th of next month.
Oh, that's.
Oh, Gil is a man who's stuck and strung out on crack. Got a hit, couldn't let it go. He got taken out to another world or what have you, whatever.
Wonderful. Many more years, more blessings to you. Where are you originally from, Gil?
I'm from Philadelphia. I was born and raised in West Oak Lane. Yeah.
All right, so Gil, can you tell me a little bit about your childhood growing up?
Well, actually, I had good parents. My parents, I wanted for nothing. I was the oldest of three. I had a sister and a brother. We're not very close right now. My sister passed 2 years ago, and basically, I'm a loner. I've had some bad times with my drug addictions and my failed marriages. But I had 5 children, 27 grandchildren, and 8 great-grand.
And he ain't there for none of them. But whatever, did you hear what he said? I had great parents. I wanted for nothing. 2 family, a mother and a father in the household. What went wrong with that? I wonder. Whatever. There have this. So if you want to see the full video in terms of that, it's called Kensington Middleman Interview, Gil, Gil, and that's on AML Films. Check it out. Great childhood, great family, and listen to his whole story of his life, y'all, please. Then we got this other one that I'm not going to record right now. It's called Trick Interview Wong. This is a guy who's a trick, who has a problem. He can't stop picking up prostitutes. He had parents who was just like, oh, please, Mexican, working hard, trying to even feed the children, doing everything that these parents could do. And this is what he turns out to be, a trick who can't help but pick up prostitutes and encourage women to degrade themselves. That's called Trick Interview Wong, Juan, and that's on Soft White Underbelly. These are people who came from 2-parent households. They had parents who was amazing. Because I know if I was to tell it to you, you wouldn't believe it coming straight from me. But so I figured, actually, if I show you the proof, the evidence, the proof is right there coming out of these very people's mouths. You're hearing it with your own ears. So you can't just say, well, Sheila, that's just your experience. And that's just, you're bitter. And you're very hostile. And you're very angry. No, sweetheart. I'm a realistic person. It is what it is. So don't sit around here and constantly keep doing the blame game. Blaming your parents. Well, I'm all messed up and my life didn't work out the way I wanted. I wanted to give my husband a baby, but I can't because you was the one who, what, child, whatever, child, you, whatever. Your issues are because you was hard-headed. You didn't listen to your parents. When your parents told you to leave certain clowns alone and you chose not to. That's one thing I love about the Asians. Like when I say the Asians, I'm talking about the Chinese, the Japanese, the Indians. If they pick a partner and their family don't agree with it, you're cut off. Because they know that's going to cause too much problems when it comes to Christmas, when it comes to holidays, when it comes to family meetings, when it comes to trying to get along with the family. Asian people have the right idea. If my parents don't accept you or don't like you, you're done. You're so freaking done. Unless, of course, it's for racial reason. I don't like him because he's black. I don't like him because he's Caucasian European. Or I don't like him because he's Indian. That's ridiculous. But when they can give you valid reasons why they don't like this person particularly, they don't like them, which I told my daughter, her 2 baby daddies. I didn't like one. Oh, please. I don't even want to go there, child. I never gave her the stamp of approval. Even the husband she's with now. I liked him. I did like him. At the same time, he had on a mask. And he's not who I thought he was. Okay? He encourages her to throw away her parent, her mother, her brother, her family. He encourages that. So he's not who I thought he was. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, I did like him, but I already had a dude that I wanted my daughter to marry. I already had him. I keep him in my Bible. Hold on a minute. My son already saw this. I kept his picture in my Bible, the one that I wanted her with. But of course, I'm just her mother. What do I know? He's an engineer. He's an ambitious person. He's business-minded. And he was on God and Jesus' team. How about that? Hold on a minute. I'll show you the picture. Please. Okay, Tubies, my Teletubbies. This is my Holy Bible. It's contemporary English version. And in this Bible, I do prayers, and then I put the prayers in my Bible according to the scripture of what I'm praying for. So what I put in this Bible for my daughter, take a look. I keep all the pictures. This is who I wanted for my daughter. What scripture was that? This is who I wanted as a son-in-law so desperately. His name is Wayne. That's him. Nice looking guy. Nice. Clean cut. This was back in the day, so the suit thing went on. I put this in my Bible for my daughter. What else did I have? She's a true love. What is this? Happiness is like a butterfly. The more you chase it, the more it will elude you. But if you turn your attention to other things, it will come and sit softly on your shoulder. This is from my son, Louis. He's always so good to me. Dear Mama, I know that for quite some time now you have been blue. I know that you may feel like less than a woman right now. But know that no matter how many hairs you may grow on your chin, or how much peach fuzz you may accumulate over the years, I still love you and respect you as a mother, a teacher, lady, and my best friend. You are true blue, right? You are true blue right down to the bitter end. This is just another hurdle to cross, another river to guide through. We will make it, Mama. We will make it. Love always, Louis. He says, sometimes men can be blind. That's when I was going through this breakdown with Greg. I was so depressed. Oh my God. And I keep this card in my Bible because he was always so supportive. That's who I wanted for a son-in-law. Not the freaking whatever the hell she got going on now. Whatever. What else did I have here? You are priceless, Sheila. This is something else that I have going on. With people were telling me different things. You are priceless, Sheila. In Jehovah's eyes, yeah, you are priceless. These are reminders that I have to keep in mind how priceless I am. I keep that in my Bible. I have pictures of my daughter, but I won't put that there because she doesn't want that. So I'm going to respect her boundaries. I have pictures of my son. Well, he doesn't mind it, I don't think. That's my son. He's beautiful. And he's a beautiful human being. And he's done nothing but encourage me throughout life. Him and his model material. These are his model pictures that I have. I'm not going to post anything else because I don't think he would approve. So I'm just going to respect that. I would put my daughter, but she's not up to that. So I respect her boundaries. Even though God knows she don't give a damn about mine. Dear Mama, this is Louis. When was the last time someone brought you flowers? Well, today's the day. And I hope these will lift your plateauing spirit because I know you have been less than yourself these past couple of days. Please hang in there. I feel that you are such a good human who has been tainted by this cruel and sedated society. They also say that if you are to ever be in a steady relationship, you must first see if you can take care of a plant. So here is the test. Okay, so in order for you to be in a relationship, you have to know how to take care of a plant first. So here's the test. I know you'll find that someone, even if that someone is you. I love you, Sheena. He always calls me Sheena. Stay strong. Yeah. That was when I used to look for love, honey. Oh, child, please. I'm done. Anyway, what is this? Dear Sheena. This is my son again. You are running across my mind just now, and I just have to let you know that I love you very much and thank you for staying. Father walked out, but I stayed. I appreciate all that you have done in my behalf and am reminded of Jehovah God's undeserved kindness. Stop it, royalty. And I'm reminded of Jehovah's undeserved kindness and mercy every single day when I see your beautiful face in the morning. I know that we have differences and that we may not see eye to eye on everything, but I love and respect you for the strong woman that you are. You are an excellent mother, and I love you dearly. Your presence on this earth was not in vain, as you have influenced my life for the better. Thank you from the center of my heart. I got all this stuff in my Bible. You think I'm getting rid of this stuff? Never! Never. It makes me feel so amazing. What do I have from my daughter? Nothing. She's too busy giving everything to dude. She don't give a damn about me, honey. Child, please. But anyway, this is Sheila True Love. And again, I'm just trying to show you that it's not always having bad parents that cause children to turn wayward or bad. You know what I'm saying? And please stop beating up on your mother all the time. If your parents, and I'm not going to negate that sometimes there are parents who are narcissistic, parents who are horror stories. Let Jesus Christ take care of that. Stop trying to do Jehovah God and Jesus Christ's job. Do your job. As an offspring of your parents, your job is to honor your parents, regardless of whether they earn it or not. Focus on what you need to do. Stop trying to do God and Jesus' job. They'll handle your parents. Trust and believe. Because Jehovah handled me. He knew how to handle me appropriately. And he will do the same for you. This is Sheila True Love, always loving you. Until the next time, goodbye for now.